Cincinnati, a road edition. I'm not sure how that's working, but hey, this is awesome. How much fun is this? This is great. Big thanks to the Environmental Sustainability Committee and to Sarah and Christy for pulling this off. This is such a fun place to be as a group. I know that I did a scavenger hunt with my corporate team many moons ago, and gosh, just a few years ago, I was here with my Cub Scout pack, and we were sleeping over in the Manatee house. It was dark. It was nighttime. The whole park was closed. We were walking between buildings, and the lion let out the biggest MGM roar I had ever heard. We were convinced he had escaped, and we were paralyzed. My heart stopped because I thought I was going to have to fight a lion or try to outrun some scouts. But how much fun it is to be here as a group. We're very excited to learn about environmental sustainability. I learned this week that the Cincinnati Zoo is #1 greenest zoo in America. Every time I come down here, there's something new being constructed. We're going to hear from Stephenie Ritchey, Director of Sustainability, all about the progress they're making on a 2025 plan to be net zero across the zoo. So really looking forward to your presentation, Stephenie. Let's kick this meeting off with the national anthem, led by our director, Tony Autry, followed by 4-week test and invocation from Kenneth Cleveland. Sorry, it's not. Todd Anderson. Sorry, Kenneth. I just gave you our name.
Thank you, President King. Everybody join in with me.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So we'll follow that with prayer. Let us pray. O God, of the things that we say and do, we find ourselves reflecting on how the frame of reference of these rules of life impact our life. It is more than a slogan. It's more than a hope. It's a guiding principle that gives us the pathway towards integrity. Integrity that gives voice to our public and private personas engaged in the same mission that enhances the world changes things, power structures, all who come in contact with us each day and every day. We pause as well to give thanks for the beauty and all the challenges that engage our intellect and our emotions. May we be in touch with our created nature and giving voice to our place in the world where we are not the creator, but we are the created. Sustain us with this gift of food, our fellowship this day, and continue to guide us in the direction that you would have us go. Remind us of our human responsibilities, that dominion over the earth and each other is a gift of stewardship to be used for the good of all. Help us refrain from the misuse of this notion with domination, which destroys all relationships and the possibilities that seeking the truth, creating fairness, building better friendship always results in benefits for all. Amen. In all the things that we think, say, or do, is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And thank you, Todd. You may be seated. Now we welcome our guests and prospective members, Director Bill Phillips.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cincinnati Rotary Club 17, the 17th oldest Rotary Club in the universe. We'd like to welcome you to get the potential members, and if you would, please listen first. Thank you. If you would, when I announce your name, please stand up if I recognize you. Samantha Taylor is a guest of Nehemiah Israel. Todd Johnson with the Salvation Army, a guest of Kenneth Cleveland. Nancy Kininger, a guest of Jim Crowley. Sandy Blackmore, a guest of Al Conscious. We have a special guest, Marilyn Nemmy Cruz, who is current president of the Washington, D.C. Rotary and is here for their national conference. She's a guest of Melinda Kelly. You can stand up for And also to welcome back a couple Rotarians we haven't seen for a while. David Edward. Welcome back, David. And Hans Poppy. Welcome to
That's great. Thank you, Bill. Welcome, guests. We hope you come back and join us in service. We appreciate our meeting sponsors. They help us develop membership. Today's meeting sponsor is Kenneth Cleveland and the Salvation Army. Kenneth, can I hand you this microphone for a couple of words? So, good afternoon. Okay, good. Well, good afternoon.
I am Captain Kenneth Cleveland. I am with the Salvation Army Cincinnati Adult Rehabilitation Center for drug and alcohol. You may have seen one part of the Salvation Army ministry. We've seen ringing the bells. Well, what my wife and I do, we are the other half of the ministry where we help men and women kick the habit of drugs and alcohol. Within Cincinnati, as being administrators, we are in charge of 6 stores. We have 3 stores in Cincinnati, 3 stores, 2 in Dayton, and we have 1 in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, the good thing about all that is all those donations, all the money that we make from the stores goes back into paying for the employee salaries and serving the men in the program. goods and services. We don't get any government funding or anything like that. It is all from the donations of customers like yourselves. To be quite honest with you, one of the great things that what we do, it's really helping men and women change their lives. We are a faith-based program, but you don't have to be any faith that comes to the program. If you come into the program, you're going to get God, because we believe that the higher power of kicking this addiction is through the love of Jesus Christ. Amen? Amen. Here is Todd Johnson, really quick. He has an instant counselor. He's going to do a real quick minute overview.
Catholic Center for faith-based program. You don't have to be a Christian, you have Muslim, whatever, you can come to our program. We are a long-term residential program, so you can stay, to graduate our program takes about 6 months, but you can come, you don't have to pay for it, it's free, you don't have insurance, you don't have ID, nothing to be an American citizen, to show up before, you don't have clothing, we'll provide everything. It's a long-term residential. It is a word therapy program, so during the day we keep you up. We want you to have to deal with this by not using drugs and alcohol. People, and this way they can put it into practice what they learn when they graduate the program to prepare to go back out into the world. Okay?
Thank you so much, Dr. You're doing great work and supporting membership development here at Cincinnati Rotary. And in that vein, we are going to welcome a new member today. I'd like to welcome back Dr. Tony Autry and Dolores Dodson. In fact, maybe I'll just come behind you. This is Rotary on the go.
There's so much to tell you about this amazing young lady that is standing next to me, and I am so honored that she has made the decision to be a Rotarian. Dolores Dodson is a major gift officer at the University of Cincinnati Foundation, supporting the UC College of Medicine and UC Health Hospital. She has been with the foundation for 5 years and specializes in building relationships and driving philanthropic investments in support of the Internal Medicine Department and UC Osher Center for Integrative Health. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from Miami University of Ohio and a master's of public health from Wright State University. She has a passion for service, education, and health equity, and endeavors to continue to utilize her skills to generate thoughtful relationships that will help drive philanthropy to assist of our community, to reduce health disparities, and increase the health and wellness for all. She is also a YWCA Rising Star 2023. Please help me welcome. And we want to love on her and just make her feel extremely welcome. She has so much to offer to the Rotary Club, and I know the Rotary Club has a lot to offer to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Welcome, Dolores. I look forward to working with you. Now to talk about an upcoming fun event, Rotary After Hours, back from Hawaii. Sure. Nancy Reese, come on down. Brought the good weather.
Thanks, Steve. I'm here to talk about our next Rotary After Hours. I'm going to read this to you because it's been is it the 26th? 26th of May. Now, it's not going to be at our house, it's actually going to be at the Cincinnati Astronomical Society. The important part of that is it's not the same as the Cincinnati Observatory. It's out in Cleves, Ohio, the wonderful west side of Cincinnati. Jerry and I joined Cincinnati Astronomical Society just about a year ago, and we love it. Because we love it so much, we wanted to have you share it too, and to learn about some of the things that we do out there. Our most fun thing to me so far has been learning how to use the monster telescopes, as I call them, that we have, and actually see the rings of Saturn and see some of the color on them. We got to see some cliffs and sand dunes and craters on the moon with the naked eye, which was pretty cool. So, that's why we decided it would be fun to go there, because it's close to our house. Well, we're not headed to our house for the before, anyway. So if you're not into astronomy, please still join us. It's not all about astronomy. We're actually going to have our regular socialization, having fun, partying, etc., from 6 to 8 p.m. And for those of you that would like to learn more, though, we are going to start about 8 o'clock. And our president's going to give a short overview of amateur astronomy, and then we'll head out to the telescopes. Now, because the sun doesn't set that night until 8:53, we're going to have to wait till about 9:15 before we can go out and start looking at the telescopes. So take your nap in the afternoon if you're like me, because I usually won't stay up until 10 or 11 o'clock. We're also dependent upon Mother Nature to make sure that we have clear skies. So same format as always, bring whatever you want to drink, bring a snack or sweet treats to share. And we have indoor space at the headquarters in addition to outdoor space, our picnic tables outside. There's also bathrooms inside, and not porta potties, or actual bathrooms. So they also have some very interesting exhibits out inside the old telescopes. There's also on-site parking, so that's a plus. I know we don't usually ask you to RSVP to come to this, but I am going to ask you if you know that you're coming to please let me know, or please RSVP. And only because I want to have some idea of how many people have volunteers. Jerry and I are so new at this, we can't answer all your questions. And the 26th, Friday the 26th of May. And so if you know you're coming, and please RSVP. If you decide the last minute you want to come, you're welcome to. Any questions with Senior Jerry? Thank you.
It's going to be a very long happy hour, but that's going to lead to a lot of very happy Rotarians. Thank you for sponsoring Rotary After Hours. So a few announcements. We have a few birthdays to celebrate. So this week came to Can on Wednesday. Today is Jan Raskin's birthday. Sunday, Kathy Grader, and Monday, Mark Robertson. Happy birthday to all Rotarians. So, last week, split the pot. The Queen of Hearts was drawn by Bill Shula, and Bill won $7.50. Well, we went back and looked at the math, and Bill actually won $1,956. Thank you everyone who participated in Split the Pot. And many years ago, Bill Shula actually introduced Split the Pot to this club. So there's I guess the good part comes around. Good job, congratulations, Bill. The next hands-on service project is Saturday, May 20th. It's with the International Festival of World Languages at the Academy of World Languages. It's 10 to 1. Contact Jim Nyhart. Details are in DAC. Join us for the next neighborhood coffee. That's Tuesday, May 23rd, 8 a.m. 10 a.m. Village Coffee in Newtown. Again, sign up in DAC. The next professional development event. This is new. This has not been on the calendar. Thursday, May 25th. It's 11 a.m. before the regular Rotary meeting. The Power of You, Profiles in Sustainability. Presented by Joe Daner. Joe and his wife were the 2023 Jefferson Award finalists. He will share another side of his philanthropic work in a seminar presented by our own club's Environmental Sustainability Committee to illustrate how each of us can reduce the dangers of climate change. Joe is going to report on his solar enterprise to improve food security and overcome rural poverty being implemented in Colombia, South America. Joe will also provide information on tax credits and other federal programs which you can use to finance energy efficiency and renewable energy in your home. Thank you, Bob Shear, for organizing that with the Environmental Sustainability Committee. Save the date, June 10th. Rotary Foundation having a convertible rally support Rotary International's Ukraine Response Fund. The rally will start at 11 a.m., pack a lunch, drinks will tour Claremont County, and end at a residence with an indoor pool, 3 ponds, and a riding trail. So bring your bathing suit, fishing gear, and a horse. Foundation asks for a minimum $25 donation to participate. Now, for something new, in a new series, the board is organizing. I don't know where to keep this. Maybe this is right. Maybe not saying right there. The board is organizing a series of basket raffles. To raise $5,000 for our club committee funding. Starting this week, we're auctioning off a basket a week. Thank you to Melinda Kelly and the corporate member roundtable for putting together a very enticing basket. Melinda said I could do this. She said, "Oh, please show people what they're getting." So, very generous donations add up to $532. There's a certificate for a premium AAA membership. There's a certificate for a filter tire rotation at Bob's Summerville Tire Service, $75. Full service car wash at AAA, $2 $50 gift certificates for Best of Cincinnati, a $75 gift certificate to 4 Mile Pig Small Batch Barbecue, tune-up first aid kit, donated by Will Lauber Insurance. There's a lot of Rotary goodies, right? We've got a fanny pack, we've got a magnified giving t-shirt, there's a candle, a water bottle, a couple of journals in here. So I think I'd just like to start the bidding at $350. So we raised $350 for this basket. We got a donation, we got one donation. Hey, $350. Who's going to bid $400? $400. $500 worth of stuff is all going to our club committee. Anybody want to bid $400? Well, you know, your car might break down, people. You might need this first aid kit just getting out of the zoo here. I mean, clients, we let them out at night. Well, we've got an open bid for $350. This is a great donation for Owen Rasmussen. Does anyone want to let Owen off the hook? Oh, we've got 400. I'll leave let Owen off the hook. Thank you. Is there a 450? 450 Owen's going. Thank you, Owen. Going through 500. 500 we have, who doesn't have a AAA membership renewal yet, right? You can pretty much, you can lock that in. 450 going once. Oh, there's a 5. Thank you, Ali. We got 5. Do we hear a 550?
Owen doesn't like to lose.
Something else this has gone on before. Owen, I guess we've got, you know, or here. You want to go 550? Just to. Do I have 550 on the slides? Thank you. I think it's there. Thank you very much. And you want to move around here. Now I'd like to turn the program over to someone who can make this microphone work better than I can. So, Hugs Miller, please introduce our today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President Steve. It's my great pleasure to introduce Stephenie Ritchey, who is Director of Sustainability at the Cincinnati Zoo, which is the greenest zoo in America. And Stephenie's been here for 3.5 years. She came just before the pandemic. Before that, she lived in California, where she did energy efficiency consulting. She went to UC Davis and majored in physics. She's married with 2 children. She lives near Oakwood, is it? And has been considering the Oakwood Rotary Club, but I told her not to consider that. And the most important thing is, when she was in high school, she was a Rotary exchange student in Finland. So, let me introduce Stephenie Ritchey.
Okay, thank you for being welcome. I'll try to, in my tour, it's a little weird here, so you go through the voice. I'll try to stay slow. So, I've been in Ohio for about 15 years now, and I did efficiency work before I came to about 3.5 years ago. I have a long meandering history where I came from California for physics to Ohio, and am now here at Cincinnati Zoo. But kind of orienting myself. So you guys want to know about the sustainability work that we do here at the zoo. And so I'm going to tell you about that. And then I will end the presentation with pointing out on our map where you can see some things that are happening directly or above your head. Sustainability is something that way, right? There's a lot of, we do stuff that we can't see it, but yet we can still realize something impact. So, who we are. So, who we are, who does sustainability at the zoo? Some of you may have heard of our VP of Facilities, Planning, and Sustainability, Mark Fisher. He started with the zoo about 15 years ago, and he really brought energy into the Cincinnati Zoo for his sustainability efforts. Yes, that is our new CR exhibit. This is on the California coast. The conference last year. We have a coast team coming in the next few years. So there's Mark Fisher, and he is a phenomenal nurse for the zoo. And he has been the foundation for the sustainability program. He brought me in about 3.5 years ago. I have, all the way on the right is Mallory Heresy, and she's our Network Projects Manager, and she and I are partners in crime on making sure our sustainability work happens. And then Lily Maynard, she's our Director of Local Conservation, and we are partners in crime in figuring out how can we support each other, because sustainability and conservation are 2 sides of the same coin, ultimately. Without conservation efforts, we can't have sustainability, but sustainability ultimately supports conservation, and conservation efforts can help the climate. So they are 2 sides of the same coin. When I put this presentation together, I thought of a lot of questions that I get about sustainability. And I know this is really hard for you guys to see, so don't worry about what's on it, and I will tell you if you need to know. I get, how does sustainability fit into the overall zoo mission? I'm getting the signals, slow down, I can go to talk fast. What's the history of sustainability at the zoo? And what's our current focus? We have lots of current foci. What's next? And this one I think is really important. What can you do for sustainability? And those are some of the questions that I'm going to try to answer in this presentation. So, okay, I know you guys can hear this. The sustainability, first and foremost, at the zoo is really about operational sustainability. How do we improve our operations? How do we use less energy? How do we use less water? And so most of the efforts so far have been making our buildings more efficient, fixing water leaks. So in whatever ancient started at the zoo, which was only 50 years ago. But I don't remember the number of gallons of water that we used, but in 15 years, he was able to drop that demand for water by 85%. Which is really a staggering number. And most of that was just fixing leaks. Simple things, right? The rest of it, just maybe 10% of it, is putting in 500,000 gallons of rainwater storage. And we're going to get the rest of our water use just over this picnic area here. You can look at it as a big construction site, a big dirt pad, and this is one of the points on the map that you can kind of go see. We are installing 1.5 million gallons of water storage. We are going to be collecting at that point 80% of our catchment area, and that is our strategy to get to net zero water. It's a resilient strategy and it's a cost-saving strategy. And I actually added it up the other day. I think there's maybe much, but I added it up. There's 750,000 gallons of dirty water. There's 300,000 gallons of clean water. There's 180,000 gallons of surface water. And then there's the other pool, 200,000 gallons. Maybe it's actually more. But anyways, we're going to pipe it back up into the zoo for things like washdowns, native water in ponds. It's going to be filtered. It's going to be clean. It's not going to be potable. But that's going to offset a huge amount of our water use. And in this last 15 years, and this is really impactful, is that our water rate has increased by 145%. So just what would our bills be if we were at our same use rate and it's costing us 245%? Now we are an organization, unlike private organizations, we are an organization that lives and breathes by our operating budget. Our MyPay comes out of the operating budgets. The programming you see the zoo, the pay for the seasonal workers, the recruitment employees, whatever you see, the operation of it is from a fluctuating income budget, right? You get ticket sales, you get some and it's a big budget. Where we can make a difference is that we have a very strong donor base, and we pull them along with us to help build our capital budget. So we have a capital budget that we can use to invest in our infrastructure, our water collection, to help on our operating budget. This is exactly where I was planning to go, but I think you guys get the idea. Now, so water use down 85%. Energy use, well, we're at the same. If you plot it, we're actually using like the same number of kilowatt hours, and about the same number of cubic feet gas as we were 15 years ago. And year on year, it's about the same. But our building square footage has increased by 43%. And our energy use intensity for our buildings has decreased 31%. So these matter. And one of the strategies that our facilities team has used is LEED buildings. Leadership for Energy and Environmental Design. I think that's what that stands for, design first. So our team that designs our buildings just does this automatically, and it is our standard. And I think one of our proudest achievements in the last few years was at the Kangaroo exhibit. And so here's another place that you can stop and look and say, oh, there's something in the ground. That is a LEED version 4 platinum facility. And this was achieved in 2020 when V4 was relatively new, and this was very hard to get. And we got platinum, the highest level we could achieve. There's a ground source heat pump in there that's heating and cooling penguin water. So you can say, oh, it's untouched water. You can say, oh, the penguin water is a good temperature because there's ground hose extracting heat from the ground. It's heated, the building is heated and cooled through this geothermal, ground source heat pump. So it's super efficient. There's a green roof. When you're walking out of that exhibit and you're seeing the gorgeous pollinator beds that our horticulture department has planted, you're walking on top of the roof of the filtration building, which is probably as big as a pervious room. It's a large filtration system. Fiona filtration system is also big. And Fiona is another stop on your tour because she swims in rainwater. Underneath the dogs, underneath the African salmon is our first water collection system. And there's tiny little pictures of them if you get over there and you try to find these pictures, these yellow plastic things the shape structure that she parked under, 1.5 megawatts of solar. Well, that's, okay, so what does that mean? It means 15 to 20% of our annual electricity use, which is pretty big. That's a couple $100,000 for us. We're going to install another one, and we're going to do that in the next year or so, and it's going to be 2.8 megawatts, and it's going to be another 3 to 40% of our electricity use. And we're going to maximize, keep going, and we're going to rooftops because we have a net zero energy goal by 2025. So by 2025, we're going to have 100% of renewable electricity, and hopefully we'll be able to do something with gas. Let me go on. So what does all of this operational sustainability investment look like for us? Over the last 15 years, we have saved, we're estimating, $30 million. That's $2 million extra in our operating budget every year. That's not what we can hire, that's not the revenue we can offer. That's just, we can do our jobs better. So this is what operational sustainability means for us and has done for us. And I don't remember the next slide. Okay, so how does it align with our mission and vision? Our mission at the zoo is creating a future, conveying knowledge, conserving nature, and serving the community. So we can create adventure and convey knowledge a little bit better if we have $2 extra million to spend. And we talk about how to know. And then I will talk about the nature and the community on later slides. But what this means to the zoo, there's pretty much 3 pillars of sustainability. There's our resource use. So we have a goal of reducing our resource use. That's what the net zero is. It's been talked about as net zero everything by 2025. So energy, water, and waste. We'll talk about that in the next slide. But the 3 pillars: operational sustainability, having a positive impact on the community and increasing community resiliency, because we impact the community. One of the reasons we did the water is because Cincinnati is a community storm and sewer system, and it needs 100-year rain events that we're not getting every few years. Our runoff floods the basements of our neighbors in the poorest neighborhood in Cincinnati. By collecting that runoff, we don't flood their basements and we help them out. That increases community resiliency. And then this concept of regenerating and conservation. We want what we do, we want to choose what we do so that we have a positive impact. And so that environmentally we can regenerate ecosystems so that we have a healthier planet and a healthier community. And if we can build that intentionality into the work we do, we're going to. Okay, so I've mentioned the net zero water by 2025, energy, water, waste. So energy, 100% renewable electricity. We currently have 15% generated on site. We've purchased renewable energy offsets for the rest of it. So we're kind of already there, but what we don't know is where is that renewable energy being purchased or generated, I'm sorry. So when our contract ends in a year and a half, we're going to be looking for an option where we can offset our electricity use with something that's in Ohio. And there's various organizations we can work with. If anybody here has an idea of who we can partner with, that would be fantastic. But that's our intention, to make sure that when we do an offset, that it actually does offset our grid electricity use. And because right now, if our wind turbines that we're paying offsets for in Texas, they're still coal burning here in Ohio. So how can we maximize our impact? Waste. I haven't talked about waste at all, but we generate 2 tons a day of waste. So that's 4,000 pounds of waste a day. Sometimes it's 5,000 pounds of waste a day. That's a lot. And most of it is animal. Our elephants, we have 4 elephants, 800 pounds a day. We have 3 rhinoceroses, a few zebra, a couple of coffee. They generate 1,500 pounds a day between all of them. And then we have our other departments. Our giraffes are 250 pounds. What do we do with that? Right now, it's just going to landfill. Well, that's not a good use. That's not a regenerative use. and into a native plant nursery, and we grow our hay there. The last couple of years, we've grown 100% of our hay on our farm in Warren County. And that is resiliency. And then what we would really like to do is practice that growing, or if that growing practice has a positive impact. So we cut all this manure, and we're sending it to the landfill. Well, we can just spread it on our fields. Well, it's not quite that easy, but the goal is to how do we figure out the infrastructure, taking all the animals we love to our farm, and processing it up there, composting it, letting it cure, using it to regenerate this farmland that we have been entrusted with. That's our ultimate waste goal. But then there's all the nuances, and I don't know how much time I've got, so come talk to me later about that if you would like to know more. Okay, I've already talked about this a little bit, but on the left, this tiny little picture here, and if you want, I can pull this up later if you guys want to see this, this is really cool. On the left, our new solar array, we are trying really, really hard to build it out of a novel material and a rapidly renewable material that is grown in Ecuador. And then it is laminated together, and then it is fabricated in either St. Louis or Tennessee, and then it makes this beautiful bamboo structure that is incredibly strong and incredibly well weathering. And I have 2 acres or so over there. I have 2.8 megawatts on a solar array structure made out of bamboo. And I'm supposed to get in, and that's just really cool. I might get a portion, but even so, 2.8 megawatts is pretty big. Oh yeah, we're putting batteries in too, so that we can use our arrays to bring it back out. And then our water, like I said, over here, we've got 1 million gallons going in, and the waste, we want to pull it up to our farm. We also have this digester machine that is kind of like composting on steroids. It's in this highly controlled, fun, vegan environment if you're an engineer. We're still figuring that part out too. What about beyond 2025? Beyond like all of that, we're going to do in the next year and a half. All of it in a year and a half, net zero by 2025. What happens after that? Well, let's start counting our carbon emissions. Let's start looking at our purchasing policies and the impact that our purchasing decisions have, because that has a huge impact. But I also mentioned community work, and I mentioned regenerative conservation work. So community work, we have work that we do in energy, creating green spaces, and our latest effort is to work with the city to create highly resilient hubs at a school in Avondale, a community center in Avondale, and a school in Wheeler. We submitted an EPA grant for this, and you'll find out this summer if we get it. The goal is increasing the resiliency of the community, and our specialty is energy, at least that's my specialty, and that's what I can offer. So how can I offer that to them? Energy habits in their buildings, figuring out a solar system we can put on there, and guess what, guys, they didn't pay for it, because that's important. I mentioned we have a very strong donor base. We have a very strong presence in the community. So this is something that we need help with. And maybe it's a volunteer day, because we're going to plant microflores there too. All this kind of stuff in random areas. But we have a track record. The last several years, we've been able to install a small solar array at a single school. I think it's been a school almost every single year. Through the Cincinnati Reds Community Funds projects and the Community Makeover projects. And we've been able to do this at no cost to those facilities. This was pre-COVID and pretty much was tapering off when I got here. We had a $725,000 grant from Duke to do an LED lighting retrofit in the community of Avondale. And we managed to do, I think, all the community centers, churches, schools, and the residences were hard. So that's one of the things that we need to focus on next. And we had partners to do that, and so we help facilitate these projects. I'm going to go on. So here's one of the projects that we did, and this is outside the zoo, 2 blocks away. The Rockdale Academy. I don't know what street it's on. This was plain grass that the school did not use. 2 years ago, our horticulture team, along with the Cincinnati Reds, created this working horticulture garden. There's curriculum that has been developed with the schools, so they use this as an outside teaching area all the time. We have a full-time staff horticulturalist working there. It really is fantastic. I'd say the up in the top corner, again, it probably is small, but I can pull this up again if you want to get a closer look. There are Kwanzaa huts, there are raised beds, there is food being grown. The top order of trees and bushes, there are apple trees, there are pawpaw trees, and service berries, and chokeberries, and there are probably some currants and raspberries, and there are all kinds of edible foods being grown in this garden. It really is a really special thing. And this was the dream of our horticulture department, and we love to track on this. How am I doing this?
You have to do 1:45.
Okay, so I'm almost done. Conservation work and regenerative ecosystems. I already talked about the farm. And we here have a botanical garden, actually right outside this window is one of our newest ones, and one of my favorite ones. It's made of plants and it's pollinator friendly, and there's great signs. And if you love plants like I do, it's a lovely little stroll through there. We have native plant sales to the public at our Warrior Farm every other weekends. You can get a tree this big for $20, which is a lot cheaper than the nursery. And you can help support a really good cause. And then conservation, I showed Lily Maynard in the photo earlier, our Director of Global Conservation. She runs a program in Kenya, works with a group called Soralo. And the primary focus of her work there is coexistence between the people who manage the land and the lions. And what has been found is that when you can manage and be intentional about this coexistence so that people aren't just killing the lands and it's being managed, the lion population goes up. And people there's fewer stuff. I don't know exactly the statistic, but she's very proud of this program, and it's a great example of how conservation can work and improve people's lives. Here's a picture of our Warrior Farm. We made this. This is called Fisher Pond because I bet you people did that. That was done in fall of 2019. On the right of that is restored wetlands. Downstream is restored wetlands, and it was probably about 10 years ago we got grants for that original work. The birds, the man who runs the facility up there, he is a very passionate birder, and he loves to talk about all the different species that he is now seeing come through there. We have egrets that come through and nest. We have a bald eagle pair that nests. It's just very cool. I mean, this is where I run out of my knowledge, but very cool spot if you can get up there and experience it. And here's a picture of the location where we work in Kenya. Highlights, I feel like I've done a lot of this. Somebody mentioned you're going to speak on the Inflation Reduction Act soon. We are going to take advantage of that because now it applies to nonprofit organizations, so now you can receive the rebates directly. And that's going to enable us to own it instead of leasing it. Instead of paying, you can do a power purchase agreement, it is still a loan. So we're going to be able to own it outright, and we're going to be able to see savings immediately to the tune of $200,000+. And community re-engagement is on that list because COVID kind of squashed all of that. Challenges we face. So if you've seen a lot of big wins, challenges we face. Utility costs are going up, electricity costs are going up. We're only paying 6.5 cents a kilowatt hour right now. And my whole electricity bill is 11 cents a kilowatt hour. And that's because we have a contract. Like I said, it's running out in a year and a half. The new solar rates can help us, but we still have to deal with it. I was done a lot of this stuff before, so literally these what Ray takes might be illegal, but Mark Fisher, being the person that he is, has been able to work with the city and the organizations to make it happen and get them installed. So there's a lot of skepticism, because again, nobody's done this before. And it's really amazing if it happens, but who knows? We have to do this on a limited budget and finite resources. What's exciting, more resiliency, deeper engagements. With our intentional efforts, we can have deeper impact and we can develop our partnerships. What's our biggest challenge? Like when I do my job in the day, my biggest challenge is this. Squirrels. Literally. Squirrels. Well, they're not literally squirrels, but there are squirrels running all over my office from a great, cool water bottle. Let's have a water bottle filling challenge and raise money for taking plastic out of the ocean. Or there's a new grant opportunity. We've got to chase a grant opportunity. Or. So this is where I need volunteers. Does anybody want to help write grants? Does anybody want to help me actually document a sustainability strategy? Let me know. A lot of what we've been able to accomplish, like the wetlands at Boyer, was done through the help of volunteers. So there are opportunities here. So when I've given this presentation before, I've been asked, like, what's a call to action? And I said, choose to lead. Choose good. A lot of the times, the choices we're faced are just less bad, right? And as a parent, it's always just, okay, what's the least bad choice, right? For all you parents who are in the room, like I am, my 12 and 15-year-old. But when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to having an impact, thankfully, there are more choices out there that now do good. So we can choose good and we can choose to lead by choosing good. And that's my call to action. So, first, just thank you for having me. For questions, we want to say that my year as a Rotary exchange student, I was 16 and 17 when I went, which is a very long time ago. It is something that is with me multiple times every single day. So, after I show the previous slide, if you can't scan that QR code, it brings you to this map. Otherwise, there's the website there. And this will, it's an interactive map of the zoo. And we are way up at the top of the zoo. And this area over here is the area that you can see when you go out from the here's Ghana, swimming in rainwater. Here in Africa, where the groundwater tanks are. Up here in the corner is where 1.5 million gallons is growing. And Rude Valley is the kangaroo exhibit, and the blue penguin exhibit up there, that's our 4-leaf platinum exhibit. And the entryway was our second leaf exhibit, and the education center was our first. If there's anything, please ask. Okay, so questions. I did have a question here first. He's raised it like 2 times.
The same question. You started the conversation and mentioned the difference between sustainability and conservation.
Yeah.
And for individuals, can you explain how that works and what the differences are? Or for corporations, but really it's a consumer society.
How do we, what's the difference between, this is the question, what is the difference between conservation and sustainability? Or what is the link between the two, and specifically for an individual? Is that, okay. I'm going to start rambling and thinking out loud my question. At home, I choose grass-fed beef that's grown locally, because one, it's more healthy for me and my family. It helps develop a more sustainable grass ecosystem where the cow grazes. And in that grass ecosystem, you can develop a pollinator habitat that then sustains the pollinators at the bottom of the food chain, essentially. Then you can grow the next levels of the food chain. So a simple choice like that can have both a sustainability and a conservation impact. It might be something from 5 miles away. That is much better than it comes from Arkansas, from a climate change perspective. If the raising of that animal can also help sustain and regrow a vital ecosystem to the area, that helps conservation. And that's it.
Did you have animals Gardens. Wonderful new pet.
Fiona smiles every time I see her swimming. There's a question back.
Yeah, I had a couple questions. Who maintains that beautiful property with that beautiful garden and fruit trees and everything was a school?
Our horticulture team maintains it, and we have a full-time horticulture staff working there
And
to maintain
do
it.
the children at the school maintain it or help maintain it?
They do participate in it.
Okay, and one more question. What do you do with all the wastes from like the tulips when you have to change plants and stuff? Maybe I missed that.
You're right, I did not talk about that. So we received a grant from the Ohio EPA last year, which is wrapping it up this year, for a small horizontal grinder. And so we can send all of our green waste through that and create mulch. So that is what we do with our green waste. And so then we actually create a product and offset cost. They have the funniest things for these things. I think this is in the East. And we had, for our digestion advantage, we have a shredder, and it is the monster muffin. Anyways, yeah, some strange things, yeah.
Well, I understand the zoo has a greenhouse that sells plant material, that's local plant material?
So we have, yes, we have growing facilities. We have a small greenhouse that's growing some lettuce for animals next to our cafe, so that would be another stop on your tour today. At Boyer Farm, we have 3, even 4 Quonset huts where we grow native plants for sale to the public. And I'm guessing that's really what
You go there, or is it brought here?
you go there every other Saturday. We just had one last weekend, so there's going to be another one, I think, but then on the 20th. You can find information on our websites. You can register for it. You can just show up. It's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Trees and shrubs are $20, and the smaller squishy perennials are either 6 or 8. I think it's 8. And we offer at various times over 300 different species. So it's really, really great events. Yeah.
I have a question about your Rockwell Academy garden.
Yeah.
Is there a process or a barrier to community members receiving food, or are they allowed to grade? Is it restricted only to people in the school system?
I don't know that I have a specific answer to you. I have never seen it locked. And I've never heard of any conversation that says we need to make sure nobody goes in at certain times. I do believe that one of the goals of it is to involve the community with that actual schedule.
In solar, have you heard of this new technology coming out called printed solar panel?
I have heard of printed solar panels. I even talked to somebody about printed solar panels. And I need to get back to him and visit the
I'm the one.
Okay, looks like I'm getting distributed. Feel free to come up to me for any questions after the meeting, and thank you very much.
Stephenie Ritchey, thank you so much. We are huge fans of our Cincinnati Zoo Botanical Garden, and we really appreciate the work you're doing to make this zoo even more sustainable and lead our community across the country, be our greenest zoo in America. Thank you so much. Super fun that you are a Rotary Exchange student alum. That is really love making that connection. I feel like, service above self is all about sustainability. And one of our new areas of focus in Rotary is environmental sustainability. So it is fitting that we've had you speak with us here today. We really appreciate. We want to give you, as a token of our appreciation, a Rotary Club of Cincinnati coin with that 4-way test of our motto, service above self. today. It's not $1,956. The winner today is $30, and we're starting fresh deck. So, let's see, I will call up and take a blue ticket for us. All right, we have the last 3 digits of 139. 139. It's on for you. You have 139 on your last 3 of your split the pot.
It's like an auction, people. You're just going to be going, gone here.
You can't find 139, and you try again. All right, don't be sassing me. All right, we've got 278. 278. There's a prize for you with 278. Get a chance for big money too.
Yeah, 52 chances.
Queen of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts.
Lot continues to grow. Leading Stephenie and the zoo and up to the ground. Your tickets are good for the whole day. I think you're going to be rolling around. Stephenie's here to take questions. There is one meeting. It's a very unusual meeting. The board of directors will be meeting the picnic shelter over here. Probably first time ever. So, with that, next week we are back at Hilton Hall Theater. It's Wally Powerling Day. Until then,